All right, I'm a skeptic, but I'm going to try it out. All right, welcome back to the Messy Garage, where we're messy. What's going on as always? And have been noodling about the idea of this M12 installation driver for a long time. I love my M12 Surge. It is my favorite single power tool, but I keep hearing what a great thing this is. I found a really good deal that included this, which I'm actually going to bundle and sell here locally with batteries and the charger here. To make this cost me probably about 80 bucks, which doesn't hurt my feelings at all. And I just want to try it. And to be honest, I have my spouse and my kids who probably are better to use this than the Surge. So I'm going to unbox it, and then I'm going to go out and try to temporarily prop up my mailbox until I can replace it and see how it does driving some long screws. So let's get going. All right, it comes in this big old bag, and you get all the little goodies with it. So I really wish Milwaukee would include a coupon for them to send you one of these. I think so many of us have so many extras of these. It seems hard to believe they couldn't make money by just saying, hey, get your free charger, and not including it in the kit. It comes with the batteries, which I'm going to leave wrapped just like that so I can sell them with this guy. It's some really, really secure Velcro. All right, so one thing I've heard about this is that you really do want to use the stick and not the foot batteries, because if you use the foot, it keeps it from being tippy, but makes it fall forward. So that's fine. It's not how I typically use my stubby. I always have and love the foot on those. But now, the way I kind of understand people, most people who gripe about something with this, it's this forward reverse button here being on the top. And some of the stuff I've seen kind of says use it with a middle finger pull and your finger kind of pointing the way, if you will, and that leaves your thumb for an easy, switch. So that seems easy enough. I actually like how light it is. I'm sure it's super light with a battery. And I guess let's get a bit in this boy and see how it does. One quick thing before we go outside. This little magnetic plate on the front has been called a couple times is super handy. And I agree, that's cool. Instead of clip-in bit storage, it should be pretty temporary anyway. So you can use it for holding bits and screws. A few screws. But not very tightly. Yeah, so only if they're touching it, they're going to stay very well. But anyway, I don't think I'll just use it for bits. And lastly, you just heard me turn it on. Here's the Surge in comparison. The Surge is kind of funny. I think it's so quiet, people think, oh, it's not very powerful. And it's a different kind of power than a regular impact driver. Like I said earlier, I love this thing. Let's see how it competes. Sorry, they got video work or tree work going out here, so I'm just gonna screw this in and see how it goes. All right, well, first impression certainly made. This thing is a lot more powerful than I realized. If you saw, I actually overdrove that screw a little bit. The second one, I was a little more careful. Should have set the chuck, which is half the advantage of having this thing over this. This drives well, and you could kind of see it was sort of doing this two-phase kind of drive in. This just powers it on in, and you can use the clutch. So didn't have that set, and boy, it sunk that screw. It's got a lot more power than I realized. So, all right, a brief word on the heads it comes with now. It's actually set up to take a hex bit with nothing. In fact, I think you could probably use all those little shorty ones that are useless in those kits that Milwaukee gives you. I have a bunch of them. Those would probably fit in here just fine. Kind of. But you got a drill chuck, nice metal drill chuck. This is the offset, which is super handy if you're trying to get really tight in there to do something like cabinetry, which I actually recently did. Would have been handy. The quick release hex bit holder, which is very similar to what the Surge has, and then the 90-degree, which will actually accept all of these, which is kind of cool. Makes it super versatile, and that's a lot of stuff in one small package. I'm going to keep it in the included box, at least for me. And yeah, going to be something. These two are things I wish I'd had. The quick release on this is really cool. You just kind of pull this forward and it snaps in. I can't really do it. See if having the magnetic bit of storage here is especially fun. I found it really balanced versus the Surge, which is kind of top heavy. I'm pretty impressed, actually, so I'm going to keep it around. And I've got a million things to do at the Messy Garage, so guess we'll keep trying it out. Still love the Surge, but I think these two guys are going to be friends. Anyway, in the meantime, stay messy.